Welcome back to your fourth dan patterns tutorial. This is a pattern Moo Moo tutorial. This is the third pattern performed by the fourth dan black belt going for your fifth dan, and it's by far the hardest pattern to perform. So I do not recommend you perform this pattern cold, like I'm doing now, but this is only a pattern tutorial, so don't expect this to be perfect because you can't perform this pattern if you're cold. So make sure you do warm up before you start practicing Moo Moo, because there's a lot of high section kicks in slow motion. Okay, so we'll get started. So you start in parallel ready stance, ready, and you use a slow bending ready stance to the left, and your right foot doesn't move when you go into it. So you can look, hover, and guard slow. You can do it much slower than me, so it's just a tutorial. Then you can cross your hands, because you've got to do a high section punch at the same time as a high section side piercing kick. So high section side piercing kick, slow, pull it back, fast high section, land in sitting stance with a flat fingertip thrust midsection. Pivot on your left foot, bringing your right foot up high, section hooking kick, and jump into a midsection knife hand strike in X stance. Then turn and come back again, palm to palm pressing blocks in normal motion, so normal speed. And then slow, 1 foot stance with an outward knife hand, low section block, and an outward knife and high section block. So you need to practice your balance a lot and be warm for the pattern. Then you repeat to the right. So you put your foot down, then don't move it. Look to the right, slow, midsection bending ready stance. Cross your hands, high section side piercing, pull it back, high section side piercing, land in sitting stance with a flat fingertip thrust, midsection. Pivot on your right foot, lifting your left foot up, high section hooking, and jump into an X stance with a knife hand strike midsection. Turn back again, and 2 normal pressing blocks at normal speed. Then pull your right leg in, slow motion again, into bending ready stance, into 1 foot stance, sorry, with a right outward knife hand and a low section knife and guard. So your legs should be straight because it's 1 foot. So then cross your hands and bend your knee into bending ready stance. Look over your right shoulder, and again slow, perform a right back side piercing kick, stepping back into walking stance with the right foot with the right middle section punch. And then repeat. Pull the left leg back and bend your knee into bending ready stance. Look over your left shoulder, left side piercing kick slow, and then left leg back into walking stance with a middle punch. Then step your right leg back and slide into rear foot stance with a downward block. Midsection snap kick, put your foot sideways, bringing your right foot into the center and stepping out into sitting stance with this midsection side fist strike. Then you're going to move half a stance to the right as you scoop and punch in connecting motion. So slide, scoop and punch in connecting motion, and then low knife hand back to the front. And then you're going to skip heel to heel into a pushing kick, and then go straight into reverse turning. So heel to heel, pushing side kick, head and shoulders round, reverse turning kick, landing walking stance with an outward knife hand, high section. So remember, the first kicks in the pattern were side piercing kicks, and then the midsection kicks are pushing kicks. Okay, so now repeat, stepping your left leg back and slide into rear foot stance with a downward waist block. Midsection snap kick, landing with your foot in, bring your left foot in halfway, and step out into sitting stance with a side fist strike. Now you're going to slide half a step forwards with a scooping block punch in connecting motion, and then show me a low knife hand to the back. Again, heel to heel side pushing kick, land, reverse turning kick, landing walking stance with an outward knife hand. From here, you're going to step forwards, high section twisting kick. So you step forwards, high section, step back into walking stance with a back fist low block, and then shift backwards into walking stance with a downward back fist strike. Again, keeping your hands there, step forwards, high section twisting kick, step back into a back fist low block, and slide backwards into your downward back fist strike. From here, do a waving kick with your left leg and landing guarding block. And then it's a checking kick and a thrusting kick in continuous motion. Okay, so it's a checking kick and a side thrusting kick with the ball of the foot and land with the knife hand. So again, start the pattern with side piercing, middle of the pattern with side pushing, and the end of the pattern is side thrusting kicks. It's all 3 side kicks. So then repeat, right leg waving kick, forearm guarding block, front leg checking kick, and side thrusting kick with the ball of the foot, land knife hand strike. From here, you're going to step your right foot behind your left, turn all the way around, middle section punch in walking stance. Then you're going to jump your right foot forwards into a downward punch, low section punch, pulling your right hand to your chest. Then you're going to repeat to the front. So you unravel and look to the front, power off your right foot, jump your left foot forwards into right low section punch, bringing your left hand back to your chest. You get out of this with a jump back kick. Ready? So jump mid-air kick, landing in knife and guard. And then from here, you step your front foot behind your left foot, back into walking stance, arc and rising block. And then finish the pattern with a sine wave midsection punch, and it's right leg back to ready stance. So I'm glad my microphone lasted for that tutorial. But that's your tutorial for Moo Moo. Lots of kicks. You've got to practice your balance at the start. Don't do it cold. And that's it. That's the last of the patterns you need for going for your 5th dan. So that's the end of your Moo Moo tutorial.